All right, so welcome to this sort of special deep dive. We're gonna kind of focus in on what's happening in Brandermill specifically for April 2025. And think of this as your really quick guide for the month ahead. We're just gonna pull out all the really essential updates and events you need to know. Kind of we've done the work so you don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. April's looking like a super active month in Brandermill, and we want to make sure everyone knows clearly about all the important decisions, the fun things going on locally, and just all the essential updates that are going to be affecting, the neighborhood.
Okay, so let's jump right in. Something big is coming up, right? The annual meeting.
Yes.
This is happening on Wednesday, April 23rd at 6 p.m. over at the North Beach Clubhouse. And for those who prefer to be there virtually, because not everyone can make it in person, there's going to be a Zoom option.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And you should have gotten a link in the mail, and it's also up on the community calendar, and it's also in that source document we've been talking about.
Yep.
So this meeting's a pretty key moment for the community. We're going to be hearing the results of the 2025 Board of Directors election.
Yes.
And they're also going to be voting on some changes that have been proposed for the association's governing documents. So, it's your chance to stay informed and see where Brandermill's heading.
Absolutely. Plus, it's the perfect opportunity to meet the new board members, put a face to the names.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of the election, just a reminder that the deadline for online voting is Monday, April 21st at noon.
Right.
So if you're planning to vote online, get that in. And if you're going with a paper ballot, you've got to get those in by the end of the annual meeting, same day, April 23rd at 6 p.m.
Oh, okay.
So just before that online voting deadline, there's also a Board of Directors meeting. That's happening Monday, April 21st, 6 p.m. at the North Beach Clubhouse. And again, for those who can't be there in person, there will be a virtual attendance option.
Awesome.
So mark your calendars, everyone. Lots happening those couple of days. Let's dive a little deeper into these proposed changes, the ones for the governing documents. The votes about updating the wording in Article 5 and Article 7.
Right.
Now, the key thing here is that the actual, the core processes, they're not changing. There aren't any new assessments or crazy new procedures or anything like that.
Right. It's more what's really interesting about this vote is what it could mean in the future. If the vote is yes, then any changes someone wants to make later on to those specific articles, well, they need a 75% vote from, the whole membership.
Wow.
And not just a simple majority from the board of directors like it is now. So it's going from a simple majority to needing a supermajority to get anything changed. And that could be really empowering for the whole community, in the long run.
Yeah, it's a much higher bar.
Exactly. It would be much harder for, future boards to just decide to change things on their own, with these core documents.
Yeah.
It'd make sure everyone's really on board and in agreement on the fundamental stuff.
Yeah. So if you really care about having a bigger say, in how things are done in the future, a yes vote is the way to go.
Exactly.
And the source document, it has links to everything, the original wording, the proposed changes, and really easy to read summaries.
Right.
So you can actually see, what's being suggested. So everybody can stay in the loop, about how the voting's going. They put up those voting progress thermometers.
Oh, yeah.
They're at the entrances of Brandermill Woods and the Market Square Shopping Center. It's a really good visual to see, how much the community is engaging in this process, which is really important.
Yeah.
So right now we're at 20% quorum. And, to make these votes valid, we need a certain number of people to participate. That's what quorum means. And just a reminder, to get the proposed changes approved, 75% of the votes have to be yes.
Okay.
So, every vote counts. And if anyone is having any problems with voting, maybe you didn't get your voting email or the notice in the mail, or you're just having some other issue, the person to contact is Naomi Sharp. She's the assistant general manager. And her email is naomi.sharp@fsresidential.com. She's there to help make sure everyone can vote. So, all right, let's shift gears a little bit and talk about some of the fun stuff happening in Brandermill this April.
Sounds good.
There's a really good lineup of events.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We've got Mugs and Mornings coming up. Tuesday, April 9th, 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Harbour Pointe Clubhouse.
Oh, nice.
Bo Baker is going to be talking about brain health as we age. Super interesting stuff. Just remember, though, registration's required, and Auburn Hills is sponsoring it. So big thanks to them.
Awesome. And for those bookworms out there, the book club's meeting Wednesday, April 10th from 7 to 8:30 p.m., also at the Harbour Pointe Clubhouse. They'll be discussing The Midnight Library by Matt Haig.
Well, I've heard that's a good one.
Yeah, I hear it's really good. And then, this is a great one, if you need to do some spring cleaning.
Oh, yeah.
Don't miss the spring clean out on Thursday, April 11th. It's from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Harbour Pointe Clubhouse. Amy Enoch will be there collecting worn American flags if you need to dispose of those, and she's going to be giving out those medicine disposal kits as well.
Oh, wow.
Also, you can shred documents right there. Shred. It will be there to help with that. And the Lions Club is going to be collecting used eyeglasses and hearing aids.
Nice.
And even Tech for Troops is going to be accepting old electronics.
Wow.
So it's a great way to get rid of stuff and, donate to some good causes.
Totally.
All right, now if you're a trivia fan,
Love trivia.
there's Let's Get Trivial Geography Trivia. Monday, April 15th from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Harbour Pointe Clubhouse. 7 rounds of trivia, prizes up for grabs, but you gotta register. And this event is sponsored by Al Morgan Real Estate.
Awesome.
Okay, and now the big one.
This is the big one.
The Festival of Spring, which they're calling the Ultimate Fun Zone. Saturday, April 26th, 12 to 4 p.m. at Sunday Park. It's free for all Brandermill residents and their guests. And there's truly something for everyone. We're talking inflatables, train rides, face painting, balloon animals.
Petting zoo.
Petting zoo, yes. Pony rides.
Oh.
The Richmond SPCA will be there for pet adoptions if anyone is looking for a new furry friend. Live music from the Robert May Band and a bunch of awesome food trucks. Boca, American Grapevine, Greek and Italian, and Westray's finest ice cream.
Oh, wow. That's quite the lineup.
It's going to be a huge, community day, so don't miss it.
Definitely not.
All right, so besides these, big events, there's also a lot of important committee meetings happening in April. So if you want to get involved, really get in there. This is a good way to do it.
Absolutely.
The CAM committee, that's Common Area Maintenance, they're meeting Monday, April 1st at 5:30 p.m. on Zoom.
Okay.
The Reservoir Hydrilla Management Group's annual public meeting is happening Wednesday, April 2nd at 6 p.m. at the North Beach Clubhouse. And then there's a really important Chesterfield Planning Department meeting. It's called the ZOMod meeting.
Oh, yeah.
That's on Thursday, April 3rd at 10 a.m. at the Brandermill Church. And they're going to be talking about proposed updates to the county's zoning ordinance, which could affect the 360 corridor.
Right, that's a big one.
Yeah. Also, we have the NAC meeting, the Neighborhood Advisory Committee. That's Monday, April 7th at 7 p.m. at the Harbour Pointe Clubhouse. And the ARC committee, they handle architectural review, have meetings on Tuesday, April 8th and Tuesday, April 22nd, both at 3:30 p.m. at the BCA office. And let's see, there's also the roundtable on compliance and maintenance. That's Wednesday, April 9th at 11 a.m. at the North Beach Clubhouse. Finance Committee meeting is Wednesday, April 17th at 7 p.m. via Zoom.
Okay.
And the Lifestyle Committee meeting is on Wednesday, April 24th at 3:30 p.m., also on Zoom.
Wow.
So many opportunities to stay informed and, participate in, the governance and activities of Brandermill.
Totally. Oh, and speaking of important things, just a quick reminder about assessments. The next quarterly payment is due April 1st. There are a few ways to pay through ClickPay, your bank's bill pay app, or by mailing a check to ClickPay. You can find the address for that on their website. Just a couple of things to remember. Make sure to include your account number or your Brandermill property address on the memo line of your check, and don't abbreviate BCA when you're making the payment.
Good tips.
And for reference, the residential assessment for this year, 2025, is $222.25 per quarter, or $889 for the year.
And for anyone who loves a nice, relaxing cruise on the water, you can rent the Branderbelle pontoon boats. Those private rentals are open from April 1st all the way through the end of October. Perfect for a little gathering or something. 2-hour rides for up to 12 people. Reservations open April 1st, but you got to book at least a week in advance.
Got it.
So it's $100 for 2 hours for up to 10 guests, and then it's $10 extra for each additional person.
Okay.
So, up to that max of 12. If you're interested or have questions, just contact Jeannie Hudson. Her email is jeannie.hudson@fsresidential.com. All right, moving on. There's a big project happening at Sunday Park. They're tackling the erosion problems, down below the playgrounds and the lower paths.
Right.
This is going to take over a month, but they're going to be planting native plants, trees, shrubs.
Nice.
The whole thing is actually supported by the Virginia Conservation Assistance Program. Once they're done planting, they're going to have to fence the whole area off, just to let everything, establish itself. So please don't cross the fence or mess around with it.
Yeah, definitely not.
And if you have something stuck in there, like maybe your kid lost a toy or something, just call BCA staff. They can help you get it back. So the schedule is they're putting down topsoil and river rock the week of March 31st to April 7th.
Okay.
Plant installation is happening the next week, April 7th to 14th. And then mulching, fencing, and all the finishing touches, that's April 14th to 21st. If you have any questions about this, talk to John Monervino. He's the maintenance director.
Got it.
Okay. Also, we wanted to make sure everyone is up to date on IPS beetle management.
Oh, yeah, those things.
These beetles can really attack weakened trees, so it's important to take care of your trees.
Yeah, be proactive.
Exactly. Early detection if there's an infestation, proper removal of any infested wood, and be careful with pine debris around your property. Last but not least, an update on the Chesterfield Midlothian flood wall project. They're going to start building the new flood wall at the water treatment plant May 28th. It'll continue through September 9th.
Okay.
And during that time, they'll be doing pile driving. So the hours are Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you live in the Harbour, Pointe, and Thornridge neighborhoods, you might hear some noise during that time. But the good news is the flood wall should be done by spring 2026, and the whole project should be wrapped up by July 2026.
Awesome.
All right, so if anyone is looking for ways to get involved and give back to the community, there are some awesome volunteer opportunities. There's the Brandermill Navigators.
Oh, yeah.
They're a volunteer group that helps out with community events, shares skills, helps neighbors, communication. They even support the BCA office. If you're interested in learning more, contact Ryan Molnar. He's the lifestyle director.
Great. And then there's the Neighbor to Neighbor program, which is amazing. They help residents who need assistance with things like yard work.
Oh, wow.
And it's all anonymous, so if you need help or you want to volunteer, reach out to Cassie Snyder.
Okay, well, it sounds like April in Brandermill is going to be pretty busy. So much going on. Important decisions, fun events, and all sorts of things happening to keep our community running smoothly.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great month.
So much to look forward to.
Definitely.